Welcome everybody to the LongBox Paradox. I am Dan, and as always, joined by Jennifer. Comics will break your heart. Comic books will break your heart on Instagram. And if you just found the channel from Tag Team Thursday, welcome.
I'm sorry.
This
is a lot less organized than Tag Team Thursday. But that's the fun of it, though, right?
Oh, I feel like every time they have a chat coordinating everything every week, and they're all very detailed. I'm like, hi, I'm just gonna put my clown nose on and just put a video out. I called myself a whore in my video yesterday.
But anyone who does know you is like, okay, fair.
So it was talking about the new Blade Runner book coming out. I was like, I don't even know why I'm buying this other than the covers are great, because the book sucks and I'm a Blade Runner fan, and I'm like, does that make me a whore? Am I just picking it up because I'm a whore? I don't know. I was like, predatory practices.
So true.
Just for the record, when a customer asks me why they haven't received their takeoff, I'm blaming YouTube.
Yep, you're welcome.
So it's been an interesting week. Not gonna lie, Jen didn't get her books till late because of weather, and a lot of the West Coast did not get their books because of weather.
Mm-hmm. I did
Texas
still
have power watching.
Yeah, hopefully.
Please stay warm. I know there's another storm coming right behind.
And if anyone needs to, make sure that undocumented immigrant Ted Cruz doesn't cross the border. Maybe put his kids in cages. Can we put Ted Cruz's fucking kids in cages?
I love that he didn't understand why it was a bad idea.
Do you, at this point, it really shouldn't surprise anyone?
I'm not, but it was just bro, I haven't been to shop since the 5th. Oof.
Oh my goodness. And Oregon, I know we talk about this every week. But you go to the same shop one of the same shops that I do, right? Because you typically go to Excalibur, right? I can't remember what shop you go to. I went to 3 shops today. I went to three shops.
Something cute popped up on the internet that I love today.
What's that?
Annie Muschietti. I think it's Muschietti. He's the director of the new Flash movie. And it was him video calling the girl who is going to be the new Supergirl and telling her she got the part. Aww. And she is Latina.
Mm-hmm.
So already I could hear the cries of the internet. But it was so cute and sweet because he's like, have you ever wanted to fly? She's like, yeah. He goes, pulls the outfit out. He's like, you're Supergirl. Congratulations. And she's just like putting her fingers, and she's like, oh my God. It was just cute. It was adorable.
Sorry. So, obviously, and hey, Scott. So, hey, really quick. If you give me 1 second, please stay here for just a brief moment. Seriously.
She always says a second. It's not like she has far to go, though.
Okay, sorry for that. I really just want to go ahead and, because Scott is here in the chat, and this was posted on his Instagram, and I'm a really big fan. I'm gonna send you a copy, and this is supposed to be a surprise, Dan. But Scott did this really cool thing called Dune-tober. For the month of October, he did 30 drawings, and I'm so glad that Scott, you put this in this thing. So anyways, I got a couple copies. One of them is being sent to you. I bought something, Dan, for you today, but I feel like it'd be cool if it was a surprise. But there's going to be a whole bunch of shit that I'm going to send to you. So this is going to be one of them. So Scott, awesome. Thank you for doing this, because it was really, really cool. So I got a couple copies of those. Sorry, I had to since you're here, I had to be man, I wish that let me go ahead and see if I can find it. Because I know that everyone here loves Dune, right? That's really why they're here.
We work it in no matter what.
We do. We really Dune. Yeah. Come for the comics chat, stay for the random ass Dune jokes and the Dune over. We hopefully will be rereading Dune Messiah soon. I don't know when that'll be though.
Yeah, that's it's a thing. Who doesn't like worms?
Worms.
We call that Shai Halusar, the maker, here in this house. So the CW passed on Wonder Girl, which I'm kind of happy about.
That really surprises me.
I did not want a show called Wonder Girl. I'd love to have a Yara Flor show, but like the whole Wonder Girl part of it still bothers me. Like they need to rethink that. Like get some corporate brainstorming in. Like I know Donna Troy is just basically Donna Troy now, but like and there's still the other Wonder Girl. So like just work on that, like workshop it. So since you didn't read any of the future state titles, I will just kind of run through some thoughts. Catwoman 2, not as good as issue 1.
Really? That surprises me.
It was okay. It's still got a lot of Snowpiercer vibes.
Okay. And did we get any onomatopoeia?
Yes.
Okay. As long as like that was good and consistent. Really quick, I did just drop a link in the chat for y'all to check out the Dune-tober Etsy where you can buy this book from Scott. So sorry, that's what I was doing. I wasn't like ignoring. I was actually here trying to be a productive human being.
Yes, I saw you focusing while typing.
Okay. Okay.
You had a scrunched up face like you were really focusing. So one of the most beautiful books this week was Immortal Wonder Woman.
I haven't. Okay.
The coloring just makes Jen Bartel's art pop so much, and it was depressing.
Was it depressing because? Oh man, don't tell me, don't ruin it for me.
No. It's just it was, there was a sadness to the story.
Okay.
Not that the book itself was like depressing, that it was horrible. It's just that the story was sad.
I feel like that was what was it, Kara Zor-El from last week. I feel like it was too short, too sweet.
This should have been a 4-issue as well, where they tried to compress way too much too quick. Nightwing number 2, it wrapped everything up in a tiny little bow, very quick. It was like a 6.5, maybe a 7. Immortal Wonder Woman, I'd probably be at about 8, 8.5. Catwoman, 6.5. Shazam number 2 tied into Teen Titans number 2. So like there's a couple of these books that all tied together, and finally find out what happened with Shazam. This was about a 7.5 for me. Superman Worlds at War, I'm still bored by. I shouldn't be, but I just didn't love it.
I feel like there was some very aggressive, like himbo energy, not only on this cover but the variant cover. And
the Federici covers in particular, it was just like,
it was
all right,
like,
dude, like John
jacked
Carter
up, like over under through, man. But like, okay.
The next Batman, I hate this book, and I
feel like, sorry.
I don't know if I hate it because I'm disappointed because I expected so much more. But like I started going, Laura Braga's art and John Ridley's writing do not mesh at all.
No. And was this the one that this wasn't the story that Mariko Tamaki was writing?
No, that was Dark Detective, which also I found to be kind of disappointing.
I feel like that's why I'm so hesitant to read some of these books, is because like they're not really doing it for me, man.
I know Imperious Lex number 2 comes out next week.
I did enjoy that one a lot. It's so funny that the titles that I feel like I would really, really love, like Aquaman
was one that I was like, oh, whatever, and I loved that first issue.
Yeah.
So that's it for Future State. So let's go into your picks of what you did read.
Okay. So it's kind of tough because, like I said, normally at this point in the week, I've already read like 30 books, and I'm like, okay, like here's 3 of the ones that I really, really did like, maybe one that I didn't like, and then the other 15, 20, whatever that I went through. So this week was kind of tough because I feel like I've got this whole pile sitting next to me that's probably going to be really good. But let's go ahead and talk about this one because so far this one was my favorite of the week, and that's Hollow Heart.
I got the ROM variant. Well, I ordered it. I don't have it yet, but I read it digital.
I think I ended up because I went to 3 different shops today, so I did get cover A, and then I got the David Mack non
Foil.
the non foily boy. So I did get that one. Um, I do wish that I had gotten the foily, but I saw it for like $20 and I'm like, nah. So this one's just as good. Maybe I'll paint some gold on it or something. I don't know. But this one was such a good book. I knew that it was going to be really like dark and emotional, and I wanted to cry. It was so good.
I don't know if this is a good comparison, but it's almost kind of like a Frankenstein story.
Yes, 100%. Like this monster. I don't even want to call him a monster. Maybe like Swamp Thing.
It's kind of
Like,
like an experiment that doesn't want to be an experiment.
yeah. Yep.
And then you have the technician who's working on him, and there's that scene where he's like, I don't want to tell him it hurts. I'm going to hold it in. And I'll just fall to my knees afterward. It wasn't the book I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I thought that there would be a little bit more maybe like adventure, or that there would be more like horror or something, but I know that's going to be here. So Hollow Heart is definitely going on my pull list. I would, for this issue number 1, I'm probably going to say 9.
I'm about 8.5, 9 on it. Both John and Justin yesterday on Tag Team Friday both were talking about it. No Good Comics, and everybody was very bullish on it, like really liking it.
That's why, so yesterday, because I had that playing behind me, but for reasons I couldn't actually like listen to it. One of them being I hadn't read any of my comics and I hadn't gotten any of them, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to spoilers. So
I mean, you just would have heard me telling everybody that you were wrong about crossover.
I'm not wrong about crossover. I'm just not right yet. Literally, so I heard the news about the Spawn universe thing, and I went full Charlie Day talking to my partner, and I'm like, look, remember how I told you about fucking Solid Blood in crossover? Seriously? Solid Blood, even if it's not related to crossover, I think it's going to be related to Spawn universe coming out, and yeah, so
Chaos and Comics kind of sideways defended you in the chat.
thank you.
He
Thank you, Chris.
Well, he goes, well, she might be wrong about that, but what about Solid Blood?
I am so right about Solid Blood. Don't even.
We shall see. Yeah, so I really, really enjoyed this book. And again, I didn't know, you look at the cover, you think it might be one thing, and instead it's kind of like this emotional story about this monster, which we don't know if it's really a monster, like what it is, or if it's some kind of mutation. So this is a buy, like 100%. Like, go buy it and get up on it now, because I have a feeling its print run's kind of small.
I think so. I think it's going to be one of those unexpected, like the way that something is killing the children, or the way that once in future, the way that those books kind of snuck in under the radar. And of course, we have to hear about Deep fucking Beyond going to 20 different printings and covers, and but then something like, but granted, this is Vault and not Image.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, Something is Killing the Children. I saw it after next week, going on a rather long hiatus.
Ooh. Because is that the cover where we see her walking away, like going down the road? So
very Incredible Hulk end of the show. The sad Hulk music. Doo, 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 doo. So my pick, and I am infuriated by this series, sort of. The newest issue of Black Widow.
Okay, is this the one that you were talking about earlier? So
Yes.
folks who are watching, Dan and I don't really discuss about the books that we're like reading. Like we kind of say like, oh, like this is the book I like, or maybe you'll text me and be like, there was a book that I fucking hated this week, or there was a book that just absolutely surprised me. So right before the show, you were like, there was a book that surprised me so much, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's Hollow Heart. But then you said it was a Marvel book. Black Widow was the only Marvel book I've read so far, because I only got to read 5. So
to be honest, I think Jen and I both discussed at one point we were ready to drop this fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
Like first couple of issues just sucked. Issue 3 got a little bit better, and then all of a sudden issue 4, it was like, okay, like why the fuck did we not start into this earlier? And it's my infuriating thing with Kelly Thompson's writing. I don't think she's a bad writer, but I think she likes pulling the taffy a little too much at times, where it's just stretches out unnecessarily.
I really think that when it came to this book, in order to get the emotional punch that we got in issues 4 and 5, we needed to see the setup in issues 1 and 2. And honestly, I think the reason why I hated this book so much in issues 1 and 2 was that I was like, who the fuck is this Black Widow? Like, Black Widow's doing, like, she's wearing fucking mom jeans, driving a minivan, like going to PTA meetings. Like, that's the vibe that I get from her, which, sorry, no offense, that's not the Black Widow that I know. So we see that she has basically been, what would you say, like, I don't know, that she's basically been like mind,
like brainwashed almost,
brainwashed,
like
yeah,
alternate reality. Like they gave her like false memories, of this life she always wanted but could never have.
So, I feel like I'm kind of spoiling it, but I don't really want to spoil it. But she does get to see
what her life could have been,
where her life could have been, and it kind of gets taken away from her. I'm not going to go into details, but seriously, like, I do, as much as I do wish that this had happened sooner in the book, I think that we needed that emotional attachment in order to get here.
There's even a Hawkeye moment in it where he's like, there's everybody in your life but a Clint.
Yep.
And like he's hurt by it.
But then she's less, because there's moments where in her life there's someone named Logan, there's someone named Steve, and he's like, you didn't have anyone named after me. And she's like, stop your whining. Other people named them for me. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it was very cute.
There, like all the villains, there's some good like villain moments where like, you asshole, this is your fault. You had to go and start shit.
Yep.
And it's like the last, like, I'd say like 10 pages where it's kind of, wrapping up the story, and you're just like, oh my God, she's broken.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts crying with Winter Soldier. Like, it was like heartbreaking. Like,
and then
she gets the cat.
And then she gets Logan the cat back.
Yeah.
There was this moment where she says something along the lines of, I feel this emptiness. And I'm just like, oh, that's when I really felt it. When she talked about describing this like empty feeling. Oh, So emotional.
And she's like, I never stop. I'm like a shark. I keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And Bucky's like, just go with it. Just let it all out.
Mm-hmm.
So this had like an emotional payoff, and as a trade, this probably is a better read
Yeah,
because you
I
can
agree.
power through and not have to like sit there for months going, oh man, like the fuck, like this should be better than it is. Like what? There's pieces here that like it could be better. It's an 8 for me.
Yeah. I think now because this should be, or the next one should be the end of the arc, probably this one.
This is the end of the arc.
So I feel like this is definitely a trade buy. I think that if you weren't reading it, and if us saying that issue 1 was trash is part of why you didn't read it, I apologize, but go pick up the trade, please and thank you.
On Tag Team yesterday, Comics Kings was doing his video and started talking about Mercy, how he tried reading it and just like put it down. I'm like, oh, Jen and I had many videos. And he goes, could you post links? I was like, you don't want to watch it. Like,
no,
really
no.
It's just us getting mad at Kat Salazar. Like, it got to that level.
Yeah.
Your next book.
My next book is going to be so I was really excited for this one, and it went to an emotional place, but not the same way that issue 1 did. Like, I feel like I've heard this story before, but it didn't pack the same emotional punch as issue 1. And if issue 1 of this was like a 9, this one for me was like a 6.5, 7.
That's fair. Yeah, this didn't have the weirdness of it. This is more of mother having a weird breakdown, taking her child with her.
Yes, like I thought this was going to be more about her, and it was more about her mom and her relationship with her mom.
Yes.
But you know what I'm now realizing? Do you know why? Because we're the joke and haha is the punchline. Comes full circle. So maybe haha is a punchline crossover.
I saw issue 3 is going to be a mime, and everybody hates mimes.
I feel like I'm not digging the artwork style of the cover, so I don't know how I feel about issue 3. I'm still going to pick it up because I think W. Maxwell Prince is just great. Speaking of W. Maxwell Prince, next Wednesday, Graphic Novel Book Club, we'll be reading Ice Cream Man, or rather, we will be discussing Ice Cream Man because we should have read it by that point. So.
Hello, Chris. I was just telling Jen how you were kind of defending her about Solid Blood yesterday during Tag Team Thursday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh. Are you really covering that up?
I am. If anyone who's been watching this whole time is wondering why the hell I've been covering up my cup, you get like 30 seconds to look at this. Maybe not even 30 seconds. It's going to be like 2 seconds. The reason why I keep covering it up is because it's the tits. And anyways, it does say you're perfect on there. So, if anyone needed that message, but you're perfect.
Just get the signs like Rick from Walking Dead during oh god, what the hell is that Christmas movie where he's got the signs. He's like, you're beautiful to me. You're always, oh god, I can't remember the name of that movie.
Chat, help us out.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
We'll think of it later. Just the tips. Just the tits.
Okay, so you did haha. Okay.
Disney's gonna fucking flag at the show for us doing the Mickey Mouse.
Love Actually, yes. Okay, so I hate myself for this. So I read Batman Catwoman number 3.
Holy shit, did I miss that one this week? I may have actually not even picked that up.
So I'm going to first start with, how dare you show the Phantasm? How dare you show the Phantasm on the cover and barely have Phantasm in the book?
Are you honestly surprised at this point?
Gripe 1.
That was strike 1 of like 1,000, Tom King.
That's a bad. 2. I love Helena, the daughter. She's the new Batwoman, I guess. They don't really know they don't really say what Bat she is. It's Batwoman, Batgirl,
Maybe they'll do
it's
like
in the future.
Bat Lady.
The fuck out of here.
I feel like so you know how there's John's been doing comic gories. I feel like we should do a show that's like comics fight, and like everyone has to defend their title. Like you and Chaos have to go up and like fight why like Batcat is good or bad, and like people have to vote on who wins. That's my show idea. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I feel like you and I'd be fighting every week.
Oh, 100%. I mean, sometimes it depends on the title. Sometimes, yeah.
It was just like, subject, Remender. You could tag out and have Sid come in.
Then I will pull up, I will tag team Mars into it for pro Tom King.
I also made a very terrible reveal yesterday that I've still been reading, Scumbag.
You know, let me know if it does like the Black Widow, where it's like there's a reason why I didn't like issue 1, but then it pays off. Like,
no, I just keep reading it.
Okay.
I just this wasn't a horrible issue, but still the time jumps are fucking annoying. Like, I don't.
Ooh. Maybe the Grinch's heart will grow 3 sizes.
So my thing is, like what you want. Like, not everything's for me. Will I make my opinions known? Yeah. Sometimes a little too over the top, but yeah. I don't think he's a bad writer. I just think he's a bad Bat writer.
I think that his books also worked better in trade, because Vision I read as a trade, loved it. Mr. Miracle read as a trade, loved it. I'm reading Strange Adventures issue by issue, and I don't like it. I'm reading Batman Catwoman issue by issue, and I don't like it. So maybe these will be better as trades.
So like, there's choices in dialogue for characters in that run that I can't stand. His Gotham Girl, like, just drives me insane. I can't stand it. Like, I hate it more than life itself. It's painful to read. It's like him sitting there going, how would a 17-year-old superpowered girl talk? I know. It's like a what was that movie by with Elliot Page and Paul Rudd and Michael Cera, where she's pregnant? Juno. Yes, that dialogue in there fucking like just it was like he watched Juno and said, I'm going to make her talk like this.
Yeah. I feel like the modern version of that, I feel like I've seen that in a couple comics recently, where, I mean, not that I like necessarily know any Gen Zs really, but I feel like there's a very specific way that they try to like write millennials and write Gen Zs, and it's like avocado toast or whatever, and I don't know. It just they try too hard.
Clayman's art is beautiful, which will make me bump this up to a 7.
I'm surprised it got a 7 for you.
It's better than issue 1. Issue 2 showed a little bit, because the time jumps aren't as like jarring as they were in issue 1, but they're still kind of annoying because like, you start getting involved in one story, and it's like it jumps. It's like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, knock it the fuck off. Like, at least give me a little notice. But yeah, that's my book.
I'm still probably gonna read it because I think I'm gonna read it before the next show tonight.
Yes.
So we'll see how much I actually do end up reading. You ready for my next one?
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do this one for my next one. Shadow Doctor. What?
I just read it before we went on.
Okay. So once again, I did not know how I was gonna feel about this. But man, this was so good. Obviously, like Hollow Heart by Vault was hands down my favorite. This one was my favorite one, but not only does this just feel so real, but it also so basically the premise is that in 1930s Chicago, this doctor can't get a job as a doctor because, you know, racist asshole white people. And he ends up going underground basically to get a job with the mob, like doing shady ass shit. So anyways, this was really, really good, as one does. And the story
continues to put out
fantastic. Oh, sorry, I said this one was by Vault and this one is by Aftershock. I don't know why. So anyways, getting my like wires crossed there. So anyways, with Shadow Doctor, there's these really interesting moments where the
interviews for jobs.
Oh, that was very painful. But there's moments where this character is talking to his son on his deathbed, and it just gets so like, I don't know. It was really good. So
how do you know you're dying? I'm a doctor. Of course
I'm a doctor. Of course I know I'm dying. Duh. All doctors have a death radar. Pfft. I'm a shadow doctor. I know these things. I'm just kidding. That was not part of the dialogue. But it was really good. And in the back of this, I thought it was really interesting because it is based on a true story. The author, Peter Calloway, actually talks about how this is based off of experiences that his grandfather had. And there's like pictures of his grandfather in it. So I really think that this book, if you liked Philadelphia, if you liked Bitter Root, I really think that you're going to like Shadow Doctor as well.
I very much enjoyed it. Again, like once you find out it's a true story, also you're just like, okay, you know, and you have to think the time it was going on. Real shitty time to live here.
Yeah. All right, what is your third pick of the week? I only read 2 other books, so it's probably not going to be either of these.
I didn't read Snow Angels, and I'm kind of
I did read. You know what? I did read Snow Angels actually.
I didn't get to that yet.
But I read it earlier in the week. I think it came out on like Tuesday, and I read it then.
So this is a book I feel people continue to sleep on, and that is The Excellence.
Yeah.
By Brandon Thomas and Carrie Randolph.
I got this book, but it didn't make the top like 6 of the week. But
yeah. This book in particular, this issue had a lot going on. We kind of get more into what's going on with his dad, Master Dales, and the weird white shadow that they have an agreement. We get to see how powerful his dad is, and there's a little bit of like subterfuge, chase scenes, like action movie stuff going on in it that I really enjoyed. And again, like I feel like this book is just getting way slept on. And if you haven't been reading it, pick up the first trade. Like this is easily like a 7.5 for me.
Yeah, really, really good book. I think that the artwork in it is really what sells me on it because it's this world where there's only certain people have magic powers, and those people are like protectors of the universes. It's only like these specific families. So I don't necessarily want to compare it to Harry Potter or anything like that, because I feel like this
The only thing
feels,
I did was just how like they had like this Ministry of Magic, and that's
yeah.
the only thing I could really compare.
Yeah. Like I like there are similarities, but I think that this is so much more adult. It has a lot more
Yes.
conversations to it. I tried watching the show The Magicians, and I feel like I don't know if it's like that. I really don't know, but um I really think that you're right. People are sleeping on this and you should check it out.
Your next book.
Um so like I said, I only read two other ones and I'll go ahead and do this one. I did not like this one. And I was really excited for this one. Black Cotton.
I
So
didn't even get that one.
it's a scout comic, which I feel like very hit or miss. And this one is basically if the roles are reversed, if people of color, if black people um, are not in the minority, so white people are basically minorities. And I feel like just saying those words coming out of my mouth, I sound like some asshat like Ted Cruz, like white people are going to be minority. Me. I just, you know what I'm saying? So um, with this one, basically a black cop who also happens to be um, the like a billionaire, part of a billionaire family. So their family's really wealthy. He's a cop. He ends up shooting a young white girl. So, think about um, this book really made me think of the dynamic with George Zimmerman and, oh, I can't believe I remember his name, but Trayvon Martin. So I'm gonna not even say the other dude's name, but Trayvon Martin, um, who was killed by police, or not even police brutality,
Stand your
but
ground.
yeah, stand your ground laws. Thank you, Florida. So anyways, but this book was not very good. I feel like didn't it didn't make me like any of the characters. I didn't feel for any of the characters. Um, I felt nothing. And um, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this out. I'm gonna whip it out. Um, but I think that I would have maybe liked this book a pinch more if they had actually colored it. And I feel like that's just lazy production at this point. Like maybe they wanted to save some money and just didn't hire a colorist. But I feel like this book would have been so much more dynamic if we did get it in color. So the artwork didn't particularly stand out for me. Like we have a whole page for this kind of like boring scene that could have just easily been one panel. So just the blend of it didn't resonate with me. I'm probably not going to pick up any more issues, and I'm probably not going to pick up the trade. So that's my review.
Was that from their horror line? Because isn't there like...
There's another one called Black Friday.
Okay, that's the one. I wasn't
line.
able to get it.
So Black Friday also came out, and it's part of their Black Caravan
horror
line. So
that's what I was thinking
yeah,
of.
this one's different than those other ones. I did pick up the Black Friday one, but I didn't get a chance to read it. So maybe I should have read that one instead of this. And I really wanted this one to do well because I thought it was an interesting premise, but I feel like it's not having the conversation that I wanted it to. Like it's heavy-handed, but then pulls back at the wrong moments when it could have gone a little bit further.
Clumsy writing.
Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. Maybe it'll get better. If it does, someone please let me know.
So the next book is one that I have a weird history with, and Chaos and Comics and I had like a little dialogue about it at one point. Family Tree by Jeff Lemire. Never have I had a book that it took until the first trade ending, like that first story arc, for me to actually get involved in the book and actually start enjoying it. And the fact that it was Jeff Lemire is the only reason I hung in that long.
It's so funny because I picked up I think I ended up getting like one or two of the single issues, but then ultimately waited until the trade was collected to read it. And man, I feel like I remember the premise. I really liked it, but it wasn't good enough for me to pick up the
So it,
second,
it took to
the
like
next.
issue 6 or 7 for me to be like, okay, I'm like totally bought in. And again, normally I never hang in that long, but I was like,
Mhm.
okay, it's the same thing with Gideon Falls, but it never hooked me in.
I was gonna say, like you and Sydney, like you do not like um, Gideon Falls. I enjoyed the first issue, or sorry, the first volume, and I never went back for a second volume. So I really liked it, but not enough to go back.
Didn't get chances. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
like, and I even went back and reread the early issues just to see like, was I in a bad mood? And it's too confusing for me to enjoy.
I think also around the same time that I keep on to call it Black Barn, but Gideon Falls. Whenever Gideon Falls came out, Outcast, I had read the first two volumes of Outcast, and for some reason it gave me similar vibes.
A little bit. I enjoyed Outcast a lot more though.
Oh, I I felt like Outcast was really slow. Like at the end of the second volume, I felt like I was in the same place at the end of the first volume, so I'm like, I'm not going to pick this up anymore.
It
But
started
I'm.
getting like Why the Last Man, where it started getting redundant, the
Mhm,
scenarios. So issue 12 is the last issue of Family Tree. That's it. It's done.
mhm,
So
done.
I like that it's here, it's out, and it's done just as quick as it started. So I can appreciate that. This issue was good, but I was like, okay, like I'm into the story, and they're like, next issue, final issue. I was like, oh, well then,
Mhm.
alrighty. This is an 8 for me
If you had to rate, so the 8 is for this particular issue. Like if you had to rate the whole series, what would you rate it as?
because the first arc is such a trudge. Unfortunately, like
Trudge.
it bogs it down to about like a 6.5, 7 for me because of that.
Okay. Okay.
Because like you really have to commit yourself. Like literally, the people are so unlikable in the first book. Like literally, other than the daughter Megan, like I fucking hated them, especially the freaking son. He's such a little shit. I wanted. It reminded me of the Babadook.
I never watched that movie. I only know the Babadook from the gay memes on the internet.
I
That's how I
just,
pretty much know everything.
I
Send me
just
a
wanted,
gay meme on the internet and I know
I
about
just
it.
wanted to drown the child. He was so fucking annoying, and that's kind of how I felt about some of the characters in this. Um, you're next.
So this was once again other than Snow Angels, but if you haven't read it, I won't go too much into that. But the last one on my list is Terminal Punks, number 4. This book has just I really love it. It's like punk rock lumberjanes, and they they're in this like group, this band, and they get to go to a battle of the bands in New York, but then they get stopped in the terminal, the airplane terminal, when they get there because there's this outbreak because of um, I think it's a what like the Juul, the e-cigarette type things, like it's a
Oh
person,
yeah, yeah.
an
Vapes.
e-cigarette corporate vapes, like it's a vaping corporation, and they did testing on animals or something. So anyways, it mutates all these animals. But the band is basically like um trying to fight them, and it's cute and it's adorable. One of the first, I think it was the second or the third cover, each one of them has like a different band type cover, and one of them did X-Ray Specs, which I thought was really cool. So there you have it. That's my um, review for Terminal Punks. For me, it's like a, I don't know, 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 for the whole series so far. There hasn't really been an issue where I'm like, okay, this sucks. Each one is really good on its own.
I still haven't read Terminal. I'll probably wait for the trade.
And it's done by Mad Cave Studios, which I feel like right along with Vault has been Vault and Aftershock. Vault, Aftershock, and Mad Cave have been doing what I wish Image was doing right now. Like Image, I feel like keeps recycling all of these like old creators and old stuff, and I'm just not having it.
I think Stargazer 6 comes out next week,
Mm-hmm.
and then Dryfoot Trade.
Yeah, because Dryfoot was only 4 issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Barbalian number 4 came out.
Oh, don't ruin it for me, but I haven't read it yet, so
So right away, just be prepared the minute you open the book that you're going to see something that it's going to hurt you to read.
Oh no, should I just open it right now?
The first page will tell you everything that you're gonna experience.
This is a live react. So here's for the dude who didn't like our live react to the Dune trailer. So you're just gonna get a live react of me reading. So
Yeah. So you start with that.
And literally the first panel.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, folks. It was nice knowing you.
So this starts right away with a fucking like sucker punch, and not that Zack Snyder kind of sucker punch, like literally like you're just broken immediately opening this book. And Barbalian has been in a book that has like given zero fucks about your feelings.
Oh my god, 100%. Like, boy, howdy, this comic just broke my heart in the first panel.
It gets heavier as it goes on. It gets way heavier. Like,
and that makes me so sad because this book has been like a gay delight. Oh, Barbalian.
Yeah.
This is issue 4. Issue 5 is the last one, so it's probably wait 2 months for the trade.
Unless it comes out the after, like that, like with Weird.
Yeah, maybe. For $20. But for $20, seriously, for $20 for like I loved Colonel Weird Cosmogog 100%. Don't get me wrong.
More expensive than the single issues, the 4 single issues.
Which maybe it should be to incentivize people to buy the single issues, but still, man, I feel like this is literally going on top of the pile of what I'm going to read as soon as I get off the stream.
So like immediately the first page, the second page, the third page, you're just like, oh god, oh.
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
And there's some twists and turns in it, having to do with another Martian running around, who's disguised as a Irish cop. Yeah. And it's hard like to do a grade on it because like my feelings were hurt reading it, but the fact that it evoked that emotion out of me, like, it's like an 8.5, 9.
Oh, and like the cover.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that I didn't read this.
Yeah, like, guys, it's a heavy issue. It really, the first 3 pages are heavy. I'm not going to give anything because you have to read it with the freshness in your head for it to really hit you.
Yeah, because that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes, incredible. Yes, God, like. So that is my very vague review of this issue.
I feel like this just sold more copies of Barbalian, like us talking about it, than us being like, issue 1 and 2 were great. I mean, granted, I was like, issue 1 was good, but Colonel Weird Cosmogog was better. This one is better, and I said that like 2-3 months ago.
So your next book, if you have any, or you?
Oh my god, I have so many of stuff that I haven't read. but I'll go ahead and show people what I picked up. So like I said earlier, I did go to 3 different comic book stores today. One that I normally get back issues from, another one that I've only been to another one. Only been to this one once, and then my usual store, Books with Pictures. But one of the stores that I went to, I picked up, I got X-23, number 1, because I like it. And then I did get these 2 for no other reason than it's got magic on the cover. So I just thought that, like,
I used to have those issues.
so I got those. And then I just found these in a bin, and they are not very good condition whatsoever, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. I got New Mutants 87, which is the first appearance of Cable, for $10, which I didn't think was bad. What?
Is that the second print?
It's like a weird print because it has like this black spot on the bottom. I think it's either like a second print or whatever. But then I did also get this one, which is also not in very good condition at all. But it was $6, and I'm like, okay, spend that dumb bitch money. New Mutants 98, which is the first appearance of Deadpool. So for $6 for a shitty copy, I'm like,
it's a reprint because I just looked at the price on it.
Yeah.
The cover, yeah, because it said 3 something.
That's right. It does say $3.99. Well, anyways, I just thought it was pretty cool.
It's a facsimile edition.
I did also, just to kind of quickly go through the books I have not read yet. I got Marauders 18. I got Cable because, of course, I love me some fuckboy Cable. I got Once and Future.
Didn't read it yet.
I also got this, and I have no clue what it's about, but the colors look really fancy, and I will literally buy anything that my regular shop recommends to me, but it's called Steambound, and it's done by Behemoth, so that was pretty interesting. We talked about this a moment ago, but Black Friday #1 by Scout Comics with their Black Caravan line. I got Young Hellboy #1. Wasn't even sure if I was going to pick this up, and they're like, hey, did you want this? And I'm like, yeah, throw it. Throw it on the pile. We Live #5. I also got, I got a second copy of that. I did also get Champions #4, but it's the Riri Williams Black History Month variant. So I thought that was really pretty. And then, of course, I got Abbott 1973. I got both the covers.
I've got the trade and the 2 singles for this new series. Like, I gotta just sit down and read them all.
I'm seriously telling you, I know you have the trade, but just read the single issues because you don't even need to read the first trade.
That's what No Good Comics said last night during his, that you can just kind of not read the trade and still like follow everything going on.
Exactly. I did buy this. I found another copy of They Fell from the Sky because I wasn't sure if John's Comics with Kids has picked it up, and I'm like, I texted him while I was at this shop, and I was like, did you happen to pick this up? No? And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna send you a copy.
Actually, just send it to Kate. Like,
yeah,
Charlie. True.
Along with like a gift card for some bagels or something, because seriously, Saturday mornings with them are a fucking delight. I did pick up this. So I got True Believers. I got the Carnage Mind Bomb because it was $1. So I'm like, why not? So, oh man, I literally just saw who the fucking writer was, and now my heart's a little bit broken, but whatever.
Who's the writer?
Warren Ellis.
Really? He did a Carnage issue?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Okay. Well, whatever. I also got this True Believers, Darth Vader #1. They had a whole bunch of them. I'm like, let me go ahead and take a look. I got 2 of these. I got Spider-Woman True Believers for no other reason than just to anger Alan Moore's. I assume that Alan Moore is just a reincarnated ghost. It's not even a real person anymore. So I'm just like Weekend at Burning his ghost at this point. So I got Watchmen #1 essentials. I also picked up Ice Cream Man #1 essentials. Maybe I'll give this away next Wednesday when we talk about Ice Cream Man.
Speaking of, did you ever pick anybody for
I
the?
literally saw like 2 people who
Well,
like posted.
they've been putting it in the There's like a couple in the videos,
Hmm. Okay, well maybe I'll have to do a little bit more
but like I
investigating.
think it's only like a total of 5 people, and then
Yeah.
on Rodney's the post he made for us,
Hmm.
people posted in that.
Oh. Well, I searched on Instagram and couldn't find it. I also just picked up this cover of Black Panther because I thought it was really pretty. I like them colors. Um, that was everything that I got at one shop.
Oh, there's a book I
Um,
picked up that like I don't know how I feel. X-Men Legends #1.
I almost picked that one up, but I saw that the artwork was done by Brett Booth, and they're not a fun person, so I was like, you're not. Oh.
It's like a nostalgia bomb that I really didn't need.
That's what it kind of looked like. I feel like it's for everyone who's like, what's going on with X-Men? I want my old X-Men back.
Yeah, really, Brett Booth. I really don't ever see him post about much.
He like harassed a creator a couple years ago and has just
Oh,
yeah. So I'm just like, sorry.
I
I
have a creator that follows me that like I used to like, and then I found out that he's very, very Comic Gate, like Shane Davis, like subscribed to the show and stuff.
mm,
And
um,
I started seeing his posts. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what? I don't check it on Twitter much or like look at anything, and I'm just like, oof, oof.
I feel like comic book Twitter and comic book Instagram are like 2 different beasts, and I feel like I try to stay away from comics Twitter. Speaking of X-Men, I did pick this up today. I picked up the Strange Academy. I thought it was going to be bigger, but it's actually tiny. But I do want to show something because I thought this was kind of weird. So what also came out today was this like, or maybe this came out earlier, but this Miss Marvel. And so it's kind of the same format. This book has issues 1 through 12 of Miss
Oh,
Marvel.
it almost
And
looks like the size of the Dark Horse like omnibuses, where they're a little bit off-sized.
these are like tiny, tiny ones. I
Oh, so
also
like the
got
old
one of the,
Runaways trades.
I don't know. I never saw these are,
Um, Crap.
so here, I'll just go ahead and compare this. So I have Black Panther here.
That's the
Yeah.
Runaways.
So like if you see,
The size are a little bit bigger.
yeah. So if you can see here, um, it's like it's a baby one. So, one thing that I thought was really interesting because I picked up Miss Marvel and I picked up Strange Academy. Strange Academy is issues 1 through 6, and it was $13.99. This is issues 1 through 12, and it was $12.99. So it's $1 cheaper for double. Like, I don't know if it's because this has a whole bunch of like more first appearances and stuff like that, and it's like a newer book, and I don't know, it's hotter in spec and whatever, but seriously, for half the issues it's $1 more. I was gonna say, Marvel, you can't hustle a hustler, but you literally just hustled a hustler.
I saw Scotty Young on his website was selling the trades with a book plate signed by him. Did you end up buying any of those David Mack prints from the Neverwhere shop I sent you?
No, because I already have I have the Death and the Dream, and I think I have one other one and the Saga print.
The Norse
And
mythology one was the one I looked at. I was like, oh, that one's kind of cool.
the Saga one I haven't been able to find a frame for because it's a little bit like it's not 11 by 17, but it's maybe like 11 by it's a weird size. So I haven't been able to find a print for it. So I had most of the ones that I already wanted. If I do pick another one up, I think that it will be maybe if I can get the whole Endless Family, if I can maybe get Desire and I think it was Desire and Delirium were together. So
I think so, yeah.
I did pick up some other stuff. That one's a surprise, so I'm not going to show it to you. Let's see here. I picked up a second copy of Black Friday, a second copy of Black Cotton. I got a second copy of that. Da, 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 da. I picked up Truth and Justice. Haven't read it though. I didn't pick this one up last week, so Morbius. So I got that.
It's weird. Rod said that he hated the art, but he thought the story was fun.
That's right. Because then someone else on the show last week. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know John, I think, pretty much said the same thing.
I also got Sweet Tooth number 4 because I missed this one last week. Got another copy of that. I did pick up a variant cover. I got this cover right here for Black Widow. I also got this one for Black History Month, this Iron Man cover. And let's see here. I got the variant for Haha. Haha. And haha. And then I got this cool tattoo, King in Black.
That was a cool cover. I didn't read King in Black.
And then I got this one too. I thought it was a cool like Silver Surfer cover. I really liked. And then I also got MODOK because of course I love MODOK so much. And then I got another copy of Shadow Doctor. I got another copy of that. And I did find this in the back issue bin. And you know, I love this girl. Big Barda. So, okay. So I went to a certain type of shop. I'm not going to really talk about what type of shop this is, but you have to be like 18 or older to go. So anyways, I was in there and the person, the shop clerk was like, we started getting comic books in, and my head snapped around and I'm like, excuse me? Like, did you just summon me here with this? So anyways, they had a couple of really cute ones that I've seen, but I bought this book called Queer Werewolves Destroy Capitalism, and it is an erotic revenge fantasy, and it's like a cute, it looks so fucking adorable. So anyways, it was $5, and I can't wait to read it. It's more prose than anything. Like it's not comic booky, but I can't wait to read about queer wolves destroying capitalism. It's done by MJ Lyons.
Oh my god.
So I'm just gonna here's the cover for you folks.
Wow.
Yeah. I also got this. I got Hulk Flatline.
I actually read that.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Okay, well, we'll see
old lady teacher fights Hulk. So did you watch WandaVision?
I did. I was up this morning at like 5:30. And so one of the benefits of being up that early on the West Coast is that like I can manage to start my day and not get any spoilers for WandaVision. So I really don't. Well, according to the back of to answer your question about what did capitalism do to werewolves, to answer your question, the summary of it will tell you there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. This male erotic short story centers around a werewolf and a witch couple fighting back against the oppressive government and corporations of Toronto.
That's always Toronto.
Yeah.
Always. So WandaVision, Paul Bettany seems like he's having a blast when they're doing those little testimonials where he's like, so it seems she's just making red lights and everything else to try and stop our progress.
I really also just have to say, like, I don't even know how many times throughout watching the show I was like, Kat Dennings can fucking get it. Like, it's here. It's available for you, Kat Dennings. You're a goddess among us mere mortals.
Yeah, I was like, she's so adorable in that little outfit. And I was like, you know what? I need to, like, just stop.
I went back after watching this episode. I went back and started watching. I only got to like episode 2, but I watched the first couple episodes and man, did like just looking back at some of those the first 2 episodes, thinking about the acting capability of Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, like kill it. Kill it, kill it.
Like seeing him outside of the funnel of love funnel cake truck in the little chair with his legs crossed, just like talking about like doing little testimonials and nailed it on the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt that was pretty transparent of who that was going to end up being.
Yeah.
I love that they gave her own theme song at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it like a villain twist fun.
I really love that they made it in the style of The Office. So where you get, I'm really surprised that like Wanda didn't like turn and like look at the camera more and be like,
Did you
just do like a
catch
gym.
the credits?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, I don't want to like spoil.
No.
But
It was an interesting episode, and like we have 2 more episodes to go. So
I'm telling you, I really, really hope in the next 2 episodes, which are going to be an hour long. Apparently, I thought the last like 4 were going to be, but it's apparently just the last 2.
it was last 3. It was supposed to be. I thought 10 days was an hour.
Well, anyways, we're getting some hour long episodes, but I really, really hope that they go like full Black Mirror. I feel like I've been saying that. Like, I feel like they really just go full Black Mirror on the last couple episodes.
I really like kind of like I want them to show more of Monica her because she started to kind of power up a little bit.
Ooh, we do get to see, and I think that if anyone has been like following the comics, like if anyone knows, then you know who she ends up being. So I'm really curious because even looking at one of her like outfits at one point is very similar to an outfit that she wears in the comics. Like it has that same kind of pattern, not exact, but same pattern. So I'm really curious which iteration of her superhero person she's going to be, because she's had a couple different names.
Yeah.
So like, who is she going to be?
Captain Marvel, Photon, Spectrum. She's been a little bit of everything. Jimmy Woo continues to be amusing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I just need Kat Dennings to have her own show with Jimmy Woo.
100%.
Like X-Files, but with them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally here for it. Next month, it's going to be a jam-packed month because we get the 4-hour Snyder cut that I didn't ask for. I'm not one of those people that wanted it.
Like
Kong
there's I'm kind of excited about Kong versus Godzilla. Is it Kong or Godzilla versus Kong? Whoever it may be. But I think Godzilla's going to win. That's my vote.
They become super best friends.
Martha, why'd you say that name?
Someone posted on Facebook saying, has anybody's opinion changed on the Martha moment because they thought it was beautiful? I was like, nope, it's still fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Also, Winter Soldier and Falcon comes out next month.
Ah, that's true.
The day after the Snyder Cut.
So nerds are going to be busy next month, is what you're saying.
Yes. And then I saw the Mortal Kombat trailer.
I haven't watched that yet.
I'm so fucking into it. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, it looked good.
Apparently, there was someone on Twitter who said that they were really angry that Chun-Li wasn't in it.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't me. I'm not on Twitter.
Well, you are, but you're not.
I am, but I'm not. I basically I don't have the energy for Twitter other than to just repost things. Like that's pretty much all I can do is just repost and like
And then there's like Sid and her boyfriend who shit post all day on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I need to be on Twitter then.
I don't know. Like, I don't even have the energy to shit post. Like, I just don't.
I actually feel like I shave. I save my shit posting for Facebook so my friends and family can enjoy that.
You got to do the Queen of Thorns. Tell him it was me.
I want Cersei to know it was me.
Yeah. So I think that's it. You'll be on with Hero and a Kid later tonight, possibly with a couple more issues read.
Hopefully.
Do you guys do required reading for the show?
It's actually kind of fun because originally it was just like, hey, these are the we'll each be like, hey, this is the books that I'm getting, this is the books that I'm getting, this is the books that I'm getting. And then sometimes when you watch the show, you notice the weeks that we prepare and the weeks that we don't. So this week I feel like we're the most organized we've ever been. So we do know which ones everyone has talked about. So hopefully this show goes a little bit smoother. So I do know the ones that everyone else, I know the books that we're going to be talking about. So then now I have like, okay, I'm going to read these 5 extra ones.
I know, like I haven't watched a lot of the episodes, but the like 2 or 3 I watched, there's always one person there who seems to be contrarian to everyone else.
Oh, 100%. But that's what I like, and I feel like sometimes I'm that contrarian.
No, it's the same person every week.
Well, I feel like last week was especially a week where we were like, I hated this one. I loved this one. I hated the artwork on this one. I think that there were 2 people, speaking of Morbius, I think it was Sammy who said that she liked the artwork but didn't like the story, and then someone else was the opposite. It was like they liked the story but didn't like the artwork, or whatever it may have been.
I think it's like, I think it's like Ryan every time is just like.
I think that we also make fun of Ryan too, because the week that we were on with Mars, speaking of Mars in the chat, there was a week where we didn't read a specific book. Like we didn't bring up, I think it was we didn't bring up Immortal Wonder Woman because Ryan was like, hey, let's read Deep Beyond. So we all read Deep Beyond, and that was
the week I watched.
Horrible. But Mars, I want to let you know, I read Hollow Heart and I really enjoyed it. And I read just the first panel of Barbalian, and my emotions are fucked.
Yeah. And Shadow Doctor.
Oh, and Shadow Doctor was so good.
You got chocolate in my peanut butter.
Got peanut butter in my chocolate. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. But I think, it's fun because it's different personalities talking about different comics.
And then Sunday you're with Mars on
this
Casual
week,
Comics Night or Day, one of those 2.
This week, because I have a later shift, it's going to be an earlier show. So.
And then next Wednesday we'll be doing Ice Cream Man, just me, you, and Gambit. It'll be the just solid 3. Gambit is designing something for our show.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's going to go on his Redbubble shop to be shirts.
Yay! I want a shirt. Sign me up for a shirt.
Victoria was like, I'll buy 2. I was like, that's very sweet of you.
So adorable.
And if you're following John's Instagram, he further continues to spoil what's going on.
I know. So he said something about reading Swamp Thing, and he said so here's the thing is that, like, also whenever we talk about what books we're going to be reading, we kind of save it for the day that we were like read that month's book, or that we discuss that month's book, to be like, okay, this is my pick for the month. But you already told John and V what book was going to be read, but I didn't get the message, and I found out whenever John was like, oh yeah, Swamp Thing back there, I'll be reading it with Dan and Jen. So anyways, I'm happy because I fucking love Swamp Thing.
I also found out something too. Gambit's never read it.
So it's perfect.
The Alan Moore fan has never read it.
I was
Is he the
Okay.
first of the big three writers that we've? I mean, I guess Neil Gaiman would be.
Yeah, I would say Neil Gaiman. To me, Neil Gaiman is almost like bigger than Alan Moore almost, but I think that's just because Alan Moore is just like, I'm gonna go be a hermit in the English countryside or wherever, whatever fucking rock he lives under.
And I feel like better that we're not doing Watchmen because like it seems too on the nose doing Watchmen. Like,
Yeah.
Why not do the title that pretty much started Vertigo?
Yeah. Yep.
I know, I saw in John's comments all these people who haven't read it. I was like, what's going on? Like, this is like a staple book.
Mm-hmm.
But I just saw John was like, I'm 2 issues in and love it. I was like, oh, good.
Good.
There's also a possible third guest that's going to join us.
Oh, I thought, okay.
So, depends how the schedule works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will announce that on Wednesday. Not that it really matters at this point because now I'm just like diving.
It's all made up and the points don't matter.
And it was like, what's the book? I was like, well, I'm saving. He goes, well, you already said people are spoiling. I was like, all right. And he goes, I don't know if I have that. I've never read it. I was like, oh. So anyway, lots of stuff going on. We still don't have the Zach Thompson anything.
That's okay.
It started and ended the dialogue, and apparently he doesn't check email. And yes,
this Wednesday. And
next month I will also be joining the Sell Your Soul book club. I got. They didn't tell me we're doing a young adult book, so let's see how this goes. But go check out Cinia and Read Across the Stars on their Sell Your Soul book club. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how that's going to go. Young adult books, and I don't have a good past, like at all. Like, especially this kind.
Sorry, Luna hadn't jumped up this whole show.
So funny you say that, Mars, because we did go the Twitter DM route. And then I even messaged him to say, hey, check your email. And anyway, effort was made, and then it died.
We tried, but hey, maybe it'll work out.
Maybe.
Which, speaking of which, I Breathed a Body comes out next week. Or, yeah, next week or maybe the beginning of March. One of them days.
I saw one thing that said it comes out, and then like nothing on one of the other pages. And Diamond Site's been really dicky lately, where even Boom stuff they're putting not under Boom and putting it under just like the assorted indie comics.
Oh gosh,
like they have an issue there. Hey, we got excited for all of 5 minutes. Like Jen was screaming that like he was like, I'd love to come on, and then gave
I want
a date.
to talk about issue 4 of Lonely Receiver.
And then Jen gave a date for a day neither of us were available.
Yeah.
And then he didn't reply when we tried to change. So I might be a dick for bringing that up, but I'm fascinated by it. Like Steve Orlando and Rodney Barnes were such a easy, like, hey, by the way. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us, and you can find us on Wednesday. You can find Jen later tonight. There's links in my link tree on Instagram to go find her and all her stuff, or on her Instagram there is a link tree.
Yeah, there is.
And I even linked her Patreon and basically all of our friends, and you can catch me Thursdays on Tag Team Thursday at the 7:15 slot.
Where I try to like sneakily watch.
It was a lot of fun interacting with everyone. My subs have gone up from doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And we all have different tastes, which is nice. No Good Comics goes 25 to 30 minutes, where the rest of us go 15. That's why he's the closer.
That's why I was going to say that's why he goes last.
Yeah, like he kept going. I was like, I got to go to work. Like, see you guys. But anyway, thank you all for joining us, and go buy Barbalian. Like all of it, or Queer Werewolves Destroy Capitalism at your local sex shop, or
I never said where I bought it from.
Probably online. Uh, don't forget to spin the wheel of who wins the cat giveaway.
What? No
We
one's
all
getting my cat.
we all win. You get a cat. You get a cat. You know where you can get one? At your local shelter. And if you're in Texas, get those little doggies and cats off the streets. It's freezing. They're little paws. They can't take it.
It's cold outside. Bring them in.
18 plus in Portland, yeah.
Well, it was either that or it's a weed shop. So
What if
good
it's
chance
both?
it was. What? Yeah. I wish that was a thing. If you have the weed sex shop hookup in Portland, let me know.
I mean, you had the like food place that like was a strip club, so I mean,
Oh yeah, you're talking about Boober Eats.
yes, yes. I just remember Nat's like face going, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're really leaving now. Goodbye, everybody.